Open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
Yo, it's Kadi Cisse from the book
This is the voice of reason. I'm Baby Oprah. Voice of reason. Voice of reason. How y'all doing out here tonight? Welcome to another episode of The Voice of Reason. I'm your host, Kadi, formerly known as Baby Oprah. And of course, I have a special guest for you guys here with my special co-host who I'm going to allow introduce themselves starting from the left.
Hi, I'm Cindy B, known as Cynthia. That's my real name. And
what do you do?
oh, I work with autistic children. I actually have 2 jobs. And I'm an entrepreneur, low key, but you'll see eventually.
Next to our right.
I am Anjelique, A Mademoiselle on Instagram, self-defined on Twitter. I am an entrepreneur. I do many things. I used to cast produce and live my life, and I have a new skincare brand, CBD skincare brand, Jolie Skin.
Okay. To my left.
I'm Najee. My IG name is I Blow Cash Daily. I'm Jamaican, and I'm single.
He was letting y'all know that he was Jamaican. He was not playing. And to my right.
Alright, my name is Kojo. Don't really do social media, but I'm a bartender.
Okay. You don't do social media, but you're a bartender?
Yeah, it still works out.
No bar stars?
It still works out somehow, though. I don't know how, but it works out.
Okay.
That's interesting. Now, as you can see, they're all like, I know you guys are wondering, okay, these are all 4 random people. Why do you have them here? But I think one thing that I feel like we all have in common is that we have sex, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Any
We do.
virgins in the house?
Right.
Okay, I want to tell you guys what really inspired me to have this episode. You guys know Cardi B just dropped her single about a couple weeks ago or a month ago with featuring Megan Thee Stallion called WAP. And I like the song, but this episode is not just about the song. I noticed that it caused an uproar, not just between conservatives and I guess like regular millennials, but honestly men and women, and the conversation about sex and how uncomfortable some men can be about the confidence women have with their sexuality. So this is why I wanted to have this conversation, because I was chilling with my homeboys one day and I realized what a lot of men don't know is that most women who start off as teenagers probably being introduced to sex have a lack of confidence when it comes to sex. And society, as you see it, kind of downplay women as far as being open about their sexuality versus men who rap about their dicks 24/7, and it's never an issue. So I kind of wanted to bring both the male and female perspectives together to just talk about the experience that is associated with sex when it comes to your confidence. Cynthia, I'll start with you. You don't have to really share this, but I want to know what was your perspective of sex when you first started having it. You don't have to share what age or anything like that in comparison to now.
Okay, well, as I'll say young lady, when I started having sex in high school, I'll be honest, sex was more for them more for me. So it's just like, I didn't know that I wasn't being pleasured the right way. Like, I didn't know I was not having that orgasm. I didn't know none of that.
Before that, I want to know, what was your conversation between your mom?
To please them.
What was the conversation between your mom and your parents when it came to sex?
Non-existent.
So it was just never a conversation.
Being growing up in a household with a Spanish mother, that's non-existent. You don't have to talk to you about no sex, but you shouldn't be having no fucking sex. So why I'm talking to you about it anyways? So most girls learn sex from with their own experience. Some don't even learn at home. They don't even talk about it. There's nobody teaching them. And then the first time you actually go to the doctor, that's the first time you actually even learn how to protect yourself, how to go to the gynecologists. My first time going to the gynecologist, I was 17.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I didn't talk to my mother about sex. Because in her mind, bitch, you shouldn't be having no fucking sex.
Period.
That's it.
I want to know, Kojo, from your perspective, what is that? Can you share that experience? Did you experience the same thing, or?
My experience was unique because I was a military kid. So I was always bouncing around 6 months here, 6 months there. So I was always the athlete. So my perspective is different. I'll have girls who want to talk.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, it didn't start off like that. It didn't start off like that until you get older and take advantage of it. But yeah, I mean, pretty much, I didn't have a girlfriend in high school.
Did you have a conversation about sex with your parents? And what was that conversation like?
Nah, it wasn't really a conversation. It was more like my pops doing some things, making his mistakes. I'm watching, and like he contradicted himself with my older brother, and I'm learning lessons. But it wasn't like no straight conversation about sex.
So did they know you were having sex, or did they ever come to you?
Nah, they knew my brother was having sex. They called him a couple times, but like me, we ain't had no conversation.
Okay.
It was just me just doing it in the house, and my mom. I ain't gonna say what happened, but bitch, she could have sworn she saw something, but like she had the question. That's what she kind of like knew. And that's what's going through all my pockets. She could find condoms. That's when she kind of like was trying to watch me, but like we not having no conversation about it though.
Angelique, I want to hear yours. What was your experience when it came to being introduced to sex?
Introduced? I mean, it was more, I come from a big family. Like, I'm one of 7, so, and I'm number 5.
I did.
Yeah, right. So
We
they're
know your
clearly
mom
there
was
was sex.
there.
They were having sex.
It was like
They was fucking.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, it was never like a closed conversation. I have older siblings. I watched kind of how they move, what they do. So I was always really open with sex, which made me not so curious, if that makes any sense. I also had friends. I have a very big female friend group, so they would talk about sex, like, you know, it would be a little more adolescent age where you're talking about it, like, oh my god, I kissed a boy for the first time, or anything like that. Then you go more into high school and people are more advanced, and I always had an older sibling, once again, so I'd hang around older people sometimes. So, you know, it was always something that was prevalent, and I knew about it, and it was more like a choice for me whether I wanted to engage in it or not, rather than feeling forced. A lot of young women feel forced into it, feeling like they have to keep up with the Jonases or whatever the situation is, or they're made fun of at school, like, oh, you never gave this, that, and the third. So I never felt that pressure because I already knew what I was kind
What she's
of
saying is true though.
getting into.
You have those girls in school. I mean, I'm gonna say little hoes or whatever.
Yeah.
They doing their thing, and then once you say, "Well, I never did that," or "I never did that," well, or why not? You know, I'm like, bitch, I don't want to be like you.
Right.
Like you over here sucking and fucking everybody in school. I'm not trying to do that.
And ridiculed.
Yeah.
There were stories that you would hear a lot.
to me. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna get into that. But I want to hear
that was
Najee's
frightening.
experience
I didn't want to be that girl that was like, oh my god, she gave
you
such
a
and such
hoe,
a
but you wouldn't
blowjob
know.
under the
Well,
bleachers.
Well, I got stories.
I mean, that's
Najee,
all-
but let's hear Najee
What
first.
the
I want to
fuck?
hear what your experience was as far as being introduced to sex. Did you have a conversation with your
It
parents?
wasn't
or?
no real conversation. It was just more so they was, well, especially like the males in my family, they're pro-sex, especially in the Jamaican culture. They want to know if you getting any or not. My parents found out I was really having sex once I got a girl pregnant. So I have a 10-year-old. So after that, you know, you gotta learn to start using condoms. At a young age, you're not really thinking about using condoms. You're just thinking about getting a nut. That's how my experience started early.
That's so interesting because you guys all touched on a lot of things that I feel like a lot of people go through. But I want to start from the female perspective because one, I don't think men are educated enough. Not even educated, they don't really know what the experience is like from a female perspective because even if you don't get that go ahead from your parents for like, oh, you can have sex, society gives men that from a young age. It's like, oh, you got that little girlfriend or you have this. And when a girl is being quote unquote fast or even dressed in a certain type of way at a young age, is always something associated it to sexuality and that being a bad thing.
in my household, I wasn't allowed to wear shorts.
Wow.
I wasn't allowed to wear skirts, short skirts. My skirts were to here.
So like school regulations.
Yeah, in my house though. I didn't, and then that went on with me until I was an adult.
Wow.
So I didn't wear shorts. I didn't wear short skirts. I started wearing tight fitting clothes, but I didn't wear anything that draw attention to my rear end because I always had a butt. And my mom always felt like, oh, you're 13, 14 years old and grown men are looking at you and they'll take advantage of you. That's the only thing she taught me in reference to sex. Not about how I should feel about how I should, whatever. I shouldn't make myself look available to them.
How do you feel like that made you as far as when it came to interactions with guys at a young age?
Timid but curious because I felt like I had to keep it a secret.
That's interesting. It's crazy because I always tell people I didn't grow up sheltered, mainly because I was raised by my father. So he was more like, okay, I don't know, so I'm on my business. So, and I had a lot of freedom. And honestly, that made me more closed off. I didn't lose my virginity until college. But that was because I saw a lot. Like people, my friends were losing their virginities in 6th grade, okay, to 13-year-old boys. And just what came with that. Like you lose your virginity next day, your business is all in the school. I just seen a lot of traumatizing shit that was like, I don't think this is worth it. And it also honestly just made me afraid. But it's something Cynthia said that I kind of want to touch on in a female perspective. A lot of women don't know that sex is supposed to be pleasurable for them. So those beginning years, whether it's years or months before you come to that realization, most women are just about pleasing the guy and that's it. So when did you switch that lane and decide, like, how did you gain the confidence to make sex more of a better experience for you?
I feel like that was when I was more of an adult. Like when I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted to do. Because in high school you sneak, so you don't really have the time to really like experience what you want to experience. You can experience like a few things, but like really fulfill your like desires. So when I got older, like when I was 20, 21, when I had my boyfriend, I explored those desires with him or whoever I was dealing with at that time. So I would say in my early 20s, like when I was 19 years old. So I started to like, well, these motherfuckers better start eating some fucking pussy. I'm tired of sucking dick. Like, I'm dead ass. I'm serious. Because in high school, they wasn't trying to eat no pussy.
Right.
So I got in high school, I realized niggas was eating pussy and ass. So I was like, well, fuck it.
They were not doing that.
Come on now.
Wait, okay, so this is
Because I'm just, okay, so completely maybe opposite side.
Okay.
Right out the gate, I knew I was supposed to be getting that. Maybe because I am a Libra.
How old were you?
I am a
when you
Libra
listened?
moon, so I feel like that's my emotion. So balance is important to me. You know, equal give and take is important to me. So if I was engaging with you, I felt as though, well, yeah, I like that. I like that you get, you know, a high or a thrill off of what I'm doing to you, but can you do that to me?
Did you
That
ever have to
was more-
convince them, or was it
It
just
was never.
like natural?
It was no convincing. Like it was more like a alluring desire. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to do it because I would be like. So it's like.
Because that's how you
Yeah,
come
like
out.
yeah, you know, it would just be like, well.
So did you guys,
It
as
is
guys,
what it
did
is.
you guys ever have to convince a girl to, or did a girl ever have to convince you?
To eat pussy?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't start eating pussy until like into college.
I was about to say the same thing.
Because I wasn't with it in high school.
pussy in high school.
Is it a Jamaican thing, or was it because you were young?
I mean, somebody
Like when
did.
you're young, they teach you
not
not to,
everybody
you know,
was in high school.
eat pussy, eat ass, or have anal sex and none of that. You just have sex. But the older you get, you start to learn that you're nasty. So you're gonna start to do things. Like
You start
I
knowing
tell
what
Sin
you
all the
like.
time, I'm not eating ass. A lot of people say, why not? I say, if I have a woman, like my wife, of course I'm gonna please her, I'm gonna give her what she wants, but these regular girls out here that you just dealing with, I'm not about to give you the satisfaction so you could go on the internet and be like, well, you just eating my ass and I don't need that.
Choosy,
Right.
choosy.
Wait, so I want to hear, what was your first experience like? I want to hear his first
My first
experience.
experience with
What?
eating
How?
pussy,
How were you convinced to do it? What
because I
made
was
you?
messing with an older woman. She told me, you gonna eat this pussy,
And
or
what,
you're not going to do nothing. And I did.
do you think you did a good job?
The first time? Probably not, because practice makes perfect. Like, you're going to think you're doing a well job, but she going to try to guide you, make sure you're doing well. But practice makes perfect. I'm not going to say the first time I did it, I was great. I'll be a fool to say that.
You said the keyword guide. How do you guys, Kojo, I want to hear from you. How do you feel about a woman guiding you? Did you ever have to have a woman guide
I
you?
ain't had to have nobody guide me because
Ever?
no. It's like I was exposed, so you could like I'm so serious. Like I was exposed to sex like around 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like having a situation, I had access to like magazines and tapes. Nobody in my household, but like when I go visit family or whatever like that, and like had an autistic uncle, like he had one downstairs in the basement, nobody knew. So we go downstairs, I'll be on the magazine. So I'm like learning shit. I'm like 10 years old. So I'm seeing it. So like, I was exposed to it about the time I got time to doing it. Like I was already like a freak. So like I already know it's
already a freak.
it's like it's about no, I'm just saying like it's all about passion. Like being if you're gonna do it,
I ain't gonna lie, I was seeing this all the time.
How would you want somebody doing it to
I
you?
was
So,
curious.
like,
I was curious.
On the black
You know,
side.
like, you go on the TV, the last little channel on the back that's a little blurry, and she like, let me see.
yeah, we had that too. You trying to see like one titty sticking out and all that?
It get a little clear, like I need to do the little shit a little bit. Let's see, look a little
I'm
clear.
so done.
But yeah, like what he
Be
said.
curious.
I just want to have somebody that was older than me that I did that with was my freshman year in college. She was a senior. Yeah, she played me.
How? I want to hear this story.
I'm a young boy, not supposed to get it. So I figured me doing that would lead to me getting it. I ain't getting nothing.
I want to hear what you felt about the WAP video first, and how do you feel about? I want to hear what you thought about the song in the video.
I probably saw like a glimpse of it. I heard the song. At the end of the day, Lil Kim been out since the '90s, so like this ain't nothing new. At the end of the day, it's a female. There's so many different type of females out. That's what rap is. Like you got gangster rap, you got intellectual. There's so many different views and opinions. So like if she's saying that, that's her.
How do you feel about women being that expressive about sex?
I prefer that. If I meet you, I'd rather meet who you are. So like you trying to run this game for 6 months and then a year later the real you shows up. Nah, just be you from the rip. That's you. All right.
I want to know, like, let's say you go on a date with a girl and she's automatically that vocal about sex, just like saying like, okay, I want to. How does do that?
Let's try it out.
But would that make you want to wife her? Do you have prejudgment on her?
No,
or?
wifing don't come. It's like you gotta have certain steps to feel like wifey. It ain't got nothing to do with sex. It gotta be like conversation, experiences you go through, how she handle experiences. It gotta be like it's got wifey. That's like steps get to that. But like if you confident, all right, let's see where it goes. And then come to find out maybe a month later, 2 months later, like all right, now I see my speed, see my style. All right, come to find out it might work. You never know. You just gotta try it out.
How do you feel when a woman is? Let's say you're on a date. I'm not talking about the song itself, but you're on a date, and let's say the woman is like talking about sex. Yeah, she's just talking about sex a lot. Are you gonna prejudge her? Are you gonna feel like okay, she's gonna just?
If you're talking about sex like that before I do, prove it.
But would you consider wifing her? Or would that make you be like, all right, I'm gonna just have sex with her?
I've been single for a while, so for me, the wifey is going to take a little bit more than just good sex game. Like,
but we're talking about sex, or like let's say she talks about her sexual experience.
That's how you express it. I'm gonna still judge you by everything else you do. You got your life in order? Are you focused? Like I don't want no bum ass John. So like if you can back up the sex talk that you talking with a good life and your head on straight, then yeah, we gonna last. We could build something. But if not, it's a dub.
Cardi B said, "I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring." Can a woman's sex be bomb enough where you don't care about any other area about her life to wife her?
Her angle is first off, she got money. So as soon as she said that, her angle, like she got bread, she probably got a cleaning crew, a chef. So this not no regular female you're talking about. So I'm thinking about what she's saying. She's speaking from her own perspective.
But let's say a regular female. If you have a bomb sexual experience with a girl, but it's other areas of her life that's not up to par for you, would you still wife her?
Is she working on it?
The best sexual experience you ever had in your life. Look, he can't about this sex. He's like, well, is she trying? Does she got potential?
She trying because, like, at the end of the day, if you're trying, you just might be failing a lot, and I could come along and help you get to where you want to. But if not, you just some bum that just trying to live off your pussy, you're not gonna last. Because there's always another girl that got better pussy.
So what if she have bad sex, but then she has every other area of her life?
Bad sex is going to cancel, because if I give you bad sex, you're going to cancel me.
How you know? Do you know how many women stay silent about bad sex?
Bad sex
That's not
Hold on, let me hear what's that.
He's probably paying her. I'm
No,
not
that's
paying
not
her.
true.
What you staying for bad sex for at the beginning?
Okay, hold on.
It's
It's not the point of the bad sex. Sometimes when you have an actual connection with somebody, that outweighs that, because then you care enough to like, well, let me teach them what I like.
Are you going to cheat?
Or let me. No, I've been in a situation where I had to teach somebody how to fuck me.
But
Because he was not good. But I loved him. So I stayed with him and taught him the things I like. And
Did
then
it work?
eventually, yeah, it worked for the meanwhile, but you gotta remember some people like that you have to teach them, they're insecure. So that affects other departments than sex. It affects their self-esteem. It affects how they treat you on the outside of it. Because then they look at you like, you're a whore. You know how to do all this shit. I don't know how to do none of that. For some men, you gotta remember, you're not the same. You're not the same. I can open up Pandora's box, or I can open up a whole box of insecurities.
Right.
Wow, that's
Because if I'm men, listen, men got a pride thing. A woman gotta teach you how to fuck. A woman gotta teach you how to fuck me. That's for some men. That's a pride thing. Like, well, I'm not reaching the expectations.
But
but I don't take it like that because it's like no. I'm saying like
Yeah.
where I'm coming from is everybody different. You know what I mean? Like your spot could be over here, the next girl's spot could be over there. Like it's like you never, you know what I mean? It's like so like I feel like in the beginning you need to like when I'm understanding like here, there, which way. So like when when you doing it, it's like just communication. Like you doing it, it's like yo, that's your spot right there. Alright, keep it like it's all about communication.
Do you know there's women that won't communicate it and just allow that bad experience to just happen and roll over and never say anything?
That's
do you feel like you ever had a woman like? Do you?
I had a situation where like it just was. No communication. Oh, you sweating on me? Like, all right, yeah, it's a wrap. Like, what?
Can you tell when a woman is faking it?
What?
Do you think you can tell when a woman is faking it?
I mean, how would you ever know at the end of the day? That's what she does. She makes some noise like she's enjoying herself. Like, how would you ever know?
I don't know. It's
I'm not really paying
You gonna
attention.
feel her.
Yeah, I think it's more like a
she's
vibe.
enjoying it,
You'll
you
know.
gonna feel
I
it.
never
If you're
had
not
that.
feeling her, she ain't enjoying it. And you probably not enjoying it either.
Did y'all ever have to fake it, ladies?
Yes.
And what was that? That's not even funny because this is everyday. You see how shocked they are? This is this is so.
I don't think I had to like fake it because I would just stop.
Yeah, I'll say cut it short.
Honestly, like
That's why
they're
girls
okay.
have
So
side
I'm
music.
just saying.
See,
That's why I
I'm
said in the beginning. You know, for some people or some women, they just do it for them. So
Yeah.
I become an actress. Okay. Light scenes, camera, action. I'm an actress.
But that's why girls have side niggas.
Yeah, but then again, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Because maybe he's nervous, or maybe he's like insecure, or maybe he's just excited. Because you have some,
I see what you're saying.
Because you don't have some guys. You start first time, 5 seconds later. Oh, wait, I'm pretty trying to ejaculate. It's over now. Like it happens.
So part of
yeah. So
But-
there's grown men coming back. So there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's grown. It's grown.
I wish I could see the camera behind
How many 5 seconds though?
Just to interject and play off what she's saying is, so okay, for example, maybe the first time it wasn't the greatest. You're like, that was situational. Maybe it's just, maybe he was nervous or maybe he was insecure that time or whatever, and you try again. I think there's a limit there.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. After the second time.
You gotta think about it. Most
And
women.
if I don't like you like that, and I ain't got no feelings for you.
Because
and then you
sometimes
fuck
it
with
does
the second time,
progress. And
I think so.
I've been in a situation where
I ain't
it
gonna
was one
inform you,
time
baby.
it wasn't the greatest. Actually, and it turned out to be a long-standing relationship. The first time wasn't that great.
Yeah. They be
Sorry.
I give you drunk.
Sorry, but it wasn't that. It wasn't. I
Sometimes
don't
that's
know.
not the difference. Sometimes
Were we drinking? Yeah, we were drinking, but it wasn't like that. Like I had just had a flight. It was just like I don't know. We were just like
It was
whatever.
tired sex.
Yeah, it was like
Still
kind of
should've been
tired. I was like, not the greatest choice for the first time, but we were in such a beautiful place.
But the
So
second time.
I was like, why not? Go for it. So I did. It wasn't that great, but the morning after was great. And
I think I got his
it was a
energy.
long-standing relationship then. Like it got better.
Yeah, it's a
So
connection.
you can't just, you gotta get.
But I think what men don't really realize is that, first of all, some women start having sex at a young age. So it's confidence that's, like, I think for men, everything is physical. For women, everything is internal. Like, in order for her to come, it has to be a mental level of confidence. There has to be no anxiety, no fear. She has to be relaxed. So it doesn't matter what you do. You could be doing all kinds of things. If she doesn't have her internal right, you're not gonna.
Right.
She's not
You have
gonna
to feel
receive the ultimate
comfortable and
experience.
safe, at least.
I had someone bust my ass before. That don't
And the-
mean shit.
Right.
It don't mean nothing.
It's where she
could
is
think
mentally.
You think you could did the most greatest job in the world. Had me here, had me there, ate whatever.
No,
And
I
I could be like this.
It's crazy. I had an experience like that when
Right
the guy
after,
was
like,
pulling
okay,
everything
well.
out the bag, and I was
Okay,
just
well, I
like,
see you
mentally,
tomorrow.
I wasn't there.
Or
Yeah.
maybe I don't see you at all. Like,
No, but you gotta
Was it like
understand.
talking shit?
This
you
is-
don't stimulate me in other ways.
Yeah.
This is
So
why.
all it's just physical. Physical don't mean nothing to certain people. Like me,
But where y'all
I can fuck
dating?
you and not talk to you the next day,
Right.
or not see you ever again. I don't care, at all.
So it's all about a mental.
You don't stimulate me in any other way besides the physical. So what's the longevity in that? I can
Yeah.
fuck anybody.
Mhm.
I can fuck your father.
Oh.
I can
Yeah,
fuck your
like,
brother.
this shit.
I can fuck your sister too if I feel like fucking bitches at the time.
Alright, so
I'm just saying.
It's all about.
Y'all think dick is everything. Dick is not everything. What else can you offer me? How can you stimulate my mind? How
Right,
can you
right.
offer
But
anything?
wait.
No.
This
Or-
What can you teach me?
But wait,
No.
are we
What can
talking
you
about
teach me?
dating or are we talking
No,
about
we're
No,
not talking about
that's
in general.
all.
It's an encounter.
No, it's not.
Two different
Because there's this person in the opposite
Entanglement.
but he does stimulate me in other ways.
I
And that's why I'm attracted to him. Because he stimulates me in other ways. The way he talks to me, the way he touches me. Intimacy is not only just sex, it's other things.
Right.
But we're not talking about
But
that.
no, we're saying.
You had a flashback on it's like, it's okay. Right?
You're saying this from an older standpoint.
Yeah, as a grown woman.
Wait,
yes.
So I mean, if you're talking about stimulation, you're talking about mental stimulation.
Yes.
Something like text
I think
messages.
women need that.
Are you talking about using Jolie's skin as a massage oil?
Stuff like that. Even
Even
conversations.
I mean, I'm just saying because you got that body butter. Listen,
But no,
Okay.
you know what it is? Okay, I want to ask from the female perspective. What was like the first real sexual experience you had that you enjoyed? Because I know for me, it took a man to be like, no, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? Before I got to the realization that I needed to learn that, okay, I need to be enjoying this experience. So it took a man to be patient and be like, no, I'm gonna make sure you enjoy this experience before I do. So was it that, or was it something that you?
I think it just depends on like who plays what role and what position, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, if you're more dominant or submissive, and I don't think that should go based off gender roles, because if we were to go a little bit deeper on the energy vibe, your sole purpose, you could be a feminine energy, you could be a masculine energy. So whoever's more dominant, more submissive, who likes what, I think that's something you read in your partner. So you can't really say, oh, like she, you know, he threw it down, he did this, he did that, if someone's more aggressive, or maybe that's not the mood that day. Maybe you switched it up. Maybe
Like aggressive women.
yeah, like you know that Usher song. What's that Usher song? You know what I'm talking
Trading
about?
Places.
Yeah, Trading Places. Like you just it's based off what that is in that encounter, I feel like.
She's right. So I agree.
So what do you guys think about this from the female perspective? What did you guys learn from them that you never knew was the experience from the female when it came to sex?
None. I already know all that. I mean, I already know all that.
Do men have a different experience when you having sex with a girl just in a casual way, and if you're having sex in a relationship? Like, is it different when there's a connection?
Yes.
Or
I mean, we could go take that.
So how often are you having casual sex?
Right now,
I mean, look.
like I
When
can't
you're
say
single,
I've been
when
single,
you're
so
single,
this is casual sex.
obviously you would have
Well,
casual and
I've
single.
had
But
But is there a difference with that with casual
But
sex?
there's certain girls
forget
that I actually,
that didn't count.
you know, we're dating. Like we may go on dates, we may actually text.
So
be
what
on the
makes it
phone.
different? Like, what
Yeah,
makes
what
the
is
sexual
mental,
experience
the
different?
mental connection. If we have a real mental connection, I'm definitely going to, you know, that sex is going to be different than me and a girl just, you know, that late night call. You have to, oh, I'm about to pull up on you. That type of, that's just, all right, we lit, we about to just have sex, things lit. But if we like messing around with each other, you know, we probably planning that you coming over, we probably going to do dinner, and then you going to come over. And that's when the real foreplay comes in. Like, you're going to do foreplay to a majority of everyone, but not everybody gets it. Like, certain times you just know you're going to link, you just going to fuck, and then you're going to go home. That's just how it got to be. And you should keep it that way if that's your agreement. If that's not your agreement, then, you know, things will be explored more and stuff like that. But if you agree that that's how y'all going to deal with each other, try to keep it at that. Because when you try to incorporate emotions, that's where shit gonna get fucked up.
Do people even have a
Usually, about to say, it's rare people do agreements. When they do agreements, usually
That's what I was about to say.
No,
I don't think people do
I'll be
agreements.
honest with you. A lot of females, a lot of times they don't do agreements.
I'm gonna be quiet.
And when you do agreements, somebody's gonna catch feelings.
I agree with that. That's what I was about to ask. Do
Yeah.
people actually even have agreements?
You know how they catch feelings when you step over the
It don't gotta be that. It don't gotta be that. Sometimes some of the beats are so good that
No.
What's over?
everybody got different experience.
No,
That's what I'm just saying.
I agree.
I'm gonna talk for
what
you
you
from a
said.
female that he know me very well. Straight like this, straightforward. I'm a straightforward female. So I'm gonna ask a nigga, what do you want from me? Do you want to just fuck me, or do you want to date me? That's your moment to have the most cleanest slate you could ever have. Now after that, how you move after that is on you.
Not all girls gonna come like that.
Because that's on you. I actually,
Yeah, that's a personality
That's what I'm
trait.
saying. You're
Not
speaking
all
on
I share
that.
no good trait.
whatever happens after, so if
I'm
you
gonna just
be like,
you
so
able
is
to-
it this or
after
that?
that, so if you continue to court me and you
Yeah.
continue to try to date me and give me the image that you want something more from me, and then you turn around and do something else aside of that, however I react is on you.
And that's
Now,
what I mean by stepping
I-
over the
As a
boundary.
grown
If you
woman,
wanna cut me
as a
off,
grown woman,
You pass the scissors, right?
yeah, like you did that.
Right.
So if I came at you crazy, if I cursed you out, you did that. You brought it on yourself instead of being transparent.
Yeah.
We're too old to be lying to each other.
Honesty.
So at the end of the day,
Communication.
I had plenty of fuck buddies. I don't give a fuck. I'm grown as hell. So at the end of the day, if you want to fuck me, all you have to say, hey, I'm not looking for nothing. I just want to have a good time. Great, me too.
But
I don't think men. I don't think men know how. Even though most men say they want that, like if they just looking for a casual fuck buddy, they wish they could have a woman that just understand that and leave it at that. I don't think a lot of men know how to approach women or be in a situation that is just.
You don't have to.
They still end up trying to court you or trying to be.
You don't have to fucking get on. I'm just saying, eventually
they're
you.
scared of the conversation.
Yeah, but
So,
eventually,
in a
after y'all
sense-
start talking, you start getting a vibe how that person wants to deal with you
by
or
how
not.
you moving.
So that's when you have the after a month or two, you start to realize how somebody want to fuck with you or not. If you only
If we
linking to
not-
fuck or you only linking to do
if
certain
we not
other
going
things, you
out,
know.
based off what they're focused
So
on.
we need to. If we always
If
end
you
up based
only
off
come
if
to
I'm a
the
house
crib,
bitch.
If you only
Then
come to the
not a
crib,
house
Right, and then I'm a house
You
bitch,
should
right?
know
That
that's
means
it.
don't act like I'm
what
more
is
than
that?
anything.
I don't know.
if you only come to the crib,
Hey, you don't
that's the
go
only
out.
time
You
you
That's
should
the only time you
you
can
should
see
not
with each
come
other.
thinking
We don't see
anything
outside. We're not
Don't go on
outside with each
dates,
other. We
don't
don't
be
go
in
on
public.
dates.
House bitch.
In the house, bitch.
Okay, so let's say you have
Let
a
me know
house
how-
bitch.
I'm sorry, let me know I'm in the house, bitch. If I'm in the
Shit.
house, bitch, or I'm gonna let you know you in the house, nigga. I don't want to be with you.
So do you feel like, did you ever have an experience where a guy feels some type of way where you guys just had that agreement but then they seen you with another guy? Or
Yes.
And how is
We
that?
humans.
I don't care.
But how did it ever like turn left?
It
Or do you
should.
feel like you can handle that messing with a girl and then you see her with
Listen,
another girl?
I prefer that.
Listen, a nigga's not gonna
I'm
fuck up his
Being
pussy.
honest.
Hold on.
I
A
prefer
nigga's not
being
gonna
honest.
fuck up some pussy that he wants.
I'll talk for
So
the niggas
he's
that
not gonna fuck
are
on the pussy
actually
that he
humans,
wants.
You feel me?
You
Like,
know,
Okay.
we can
not gonna fuck
agree
it
to
up.
that, but there's gonna be certain females that come along where you don't want them fucking another nigga. Because once you
Right.
give that pussy up to another nigga,
Give me a reason not
cancel
to.
it. Which is cool and all, but I'm just saying, certain times, you know, you got that agreement that
Your pride.
y'all fuck. Yeah, you're probably gonna come on a certain female, not all females, because certain females you don't give a fuck about. Same way females don't give a fuck about certain niggas. It's just how it works. Certain girls gonna have a little more connection to you, even though y'all have that agreement that y'all just dealing with each other on a sexual tip. It's just like once you give that pussy up, it's over. Like now I'm gonna really look at you different.
No.
He might still try to fuck though because the sex is lit, but he might
And we
not.
just fucking the pussy not yours.
Yeah, it's like
I'll say it.
It's,
It-
But
it's,
that's a lie.
if she
it's
said
not-
if she said what she said, then like
my
it is what it is.
turn. That's all that
Whatever you
Nigga,
do
like-
outside of me is none of my business.
That's cool.
So
But
you really wouldn't care. Like you have an agreement with a guy and you see him with other girls, like you won't.
I will act like I don't know you. I'll keep it pushing.
As long as she could come at the end.
She's
of
a
the day.
whole nigga.
So basically what she's saying is,
I'll text you
I'll
like,
get-
so you
I'll-
going home with her or we going home with each
so
other?
basically
What?
saying is, whenever you got that thing ready. So like, don't catch feelings then. If she
Can
coming,
you
if she
really
coming what
control
she's saying-
catching feelings or not?
If she coming like that,
No.
if she coming like
You
that,
can't control
you-
it,
you-
but
you-
at the end
you
of that's
fool.
that's why I'm such a programmed person, and I'm more my mental
Mind over
programs
heart.
everything else. So if you tell me you don't want me in that way and you just want to fuck me, I'm never going to want to be with you ever.
But some girls
You passed up
want
that
to,
option
though.
on me. I had a fuck buddy that went after we was fuck buddies and everything like that. He's like, I want to be with you. I'm like, no. You had an option to be with me. You chose to be a fuck buddy. So that's what the fuck you are.
The sex was lit. That's why.
That's like a whole contract. That's like a whole contract.
No,
fine print.
but you stand on your word. So stand on your word.
But-
Stand
break
on
the
your
contract.
word. You're not gonna pick and choose when you
Hold
want
on.
to deal with
I'm
me.
explaining
Yeah, you don't pick.
Stand on your words. I'm a fuck buddy. Stay that
Come
way.
on,
my
I'm
nigga.
explaining.
Well,
I seen
I'm
that
I'm
shit
explaining
change.
why he
I'm
wanted to,
explaining
go
that shit
to
change.
the next level from just having, because y'all are fucking, and we're gonna be honest, you probably having sex raw. So now he's starting to, this is my pussy, regardless, because you're not gonna be fucking him
It's
raw,
not.
and then
Nah,
you
but
can
fucking
say
raw
that,
is
but
very
still.
cool.
Okay, but at the end of the day, that don't mean
What's
nothing.
that?
Consistent
I think
raw sex.
Onyx does just
Raw
fine.
sex is
I don't need
That's
all these
intimate. Raw
entanglements
sex is
because
very
I'm
Even from the
just
male
like,
I mean,
I'm busy.
like if you're not
Sorry.
trying to be intimate using a condom, you barely even kissing.
That's true.
What?
Like, no, I'm saying like.
No, I agree with
You
him.
have
He
unprotected,
said
you have
he
an
barely
unprotected,
kissing.
unprotected
At
sex.
this
Like that's
age,
mad. Like I'm giving like my life
90%
in your
of
hands.
every
Like,
woman I'm kissing.
you know what I mean? You can burn me. Like you're like, you know what I mean? But like,
Okay,
No,
so
no,
if
I
we're
said
gonna
it.
go back in time and speak on like an earlier time period where you're enjoying your life, you're in your early
19.
20s.
Think you
I'm on my
invisible?
exit of my 20s, so
Shit, all of us.
that type of space, that type of energy, I'm busy. I don't got time for that. I'll use Onyx. That's in my drawer. It does fine. When I want that intimate connection,
Oh,
I'm sure that's you.
wait,
know.
what's Onyx?
He
somebody, yo,
For the
I
viewers
don't know
who don't
because
know, what's
Onyx
Onyx?
is
We can do
Onyx
that.
is my vibrator.
oh, you
For
right
now.
I don't use those.
So, but
Shit,
that's what I'm
like that.
saying. It's just like I don't the games and the
situationships, yeah.
and you know whether a lot of women choose to use contraceptive or whatever. It's like it's a lot with the with it fucks with your head.
True.
Yeah.
But I understand that you need that intimacy sometimes.
Yeah.
But dealing with a fuck boy, fuck nigga, whatever you want to deal with, it's just do you really got the capacity? Now, when I was like 21, 22, 23, 24. I probably had a little bit more tolerance. I probably was dealing with a lot.
I don't have that
And
much tolerance.
it was just like, okay, whatever, we're going to do this, we're going to do it. And because I was in and out of the city, so that city life was moving real fast. I was in Brooklyn one night, I'm in the Bronx the next. Like, it's just, it didn't really matter. You know, it was fun, it was young, it was you just doing your thing, but whatever feeds your focus at that time, it's like, all right, well, it is more like a contract. We're going to do this or we're going to do this. Like, stay within
Breach
that
a contract,
agreement or, it's just like, I don't got the time.
A lot of y'all breach your contracts too, though.
It goes both ways.
Like, in what way?
It depends on the person.
Because y'all
Depends on
could,
the person.
because a girl could, want to be a secret, right? She just want to fuck.
Wait, want to be a secret?
There's certain
Oh, yeah,
girls
I
that
mean,
want
wanna
to
be
be a secret that y'all hooking up on the low, which is
I don't
fine.
wanna buy no-
Which
but
is
then
fine.
they start to
wanna do stuff, and it's like that's going, and it's like that's going outside to
Going
be
out.
like
Maybe like-
it's like
Let me
Maybe
ask-
like secret.
let
The
me-
word
word
secret
choice, maybe
is
like
more word
private.
choice. Maybe like
Let me ask
That's the
you.
same thing.
Let me ask you.
Your daughter's mother. Were you guys in a relationship?
before her,
What do you mean?
like before
What
the
do you
child,
mean?
like before the
But
child.
then after, yeah, I was just in a
We weren't
situation.
like when we weren't like when she got pregnant, we weren't together.
See, this is another perspective. So you got pregnant, you guys automatically knew you guys wanted to. So what happens in the situation? So what happens in the situation? Because y'all were situationship at that
In a
point,
way,
or
yeah. In a way, it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice. It was her choice. At the end of the day, I understand. At the end of the day, I understand.
so you guys never decided. So you guys never decided to get together after you had.
Nope. She lives her life. I live mine.
How did that
I live mine.
complicate? How did that complicate? If it did.
Like
If it
I
did.
say this for anybody that has a kid early, the first couple years is always going to be a little bit of drama, because you're not going to agree to certain things. But after a kid turns a certain age, y'all got the, if y'all doing if you handling the situation correctly, y'all know how to deal with each other. You're not going to step on her toes, she going to step on your toes, and we're going to make sure our child lives a good life.
Did you care if she was dealing with somebody after
No.
y'all had a kid there?
No.
Did she care?
No,
No.
no beef, none of that.
So you guys got along when it came to that.
We're co-parents.
I
She
respect
lives her
that.
life. I live
Peace,
mine.
harmony.
We're never gonna argue. I know she takes care of my child the,
No baby
the
mama
right
drama.
way. No drama. I'm not with none of that.
Right.
And she's not with none of that.
That's good.
That's healthy.
There's, with situationship, shit happen, okay? So it's like, I was interested to know if, like, anyone had that experience. I want y'all to leave off with an advice for the opposite sex when it comes to sex from your perspective. So what advice would you give to men when it comes to sex?
Transparency. That's all. That's all it needs for if you're gonna deal with a grown woman in general, and you're not, if you're this man that's not looking for anything or doesn't want nothing, to be transparent. There's no point of leading someone into something that don't need to be led into, because then you're causing drama for no reason. So if you just want to have a good time and fuck or whatever the case may be, see if she agrees and wants to do that, then be adults and agree on it. But if she doesn't want to, give her that respect to say no.
Right.
Like,
I think, do you feel like most men are
force me into
afraid,
giving you pussy.
if you see a girl, like, right, you like, I want her. I feel like most men would do whatever it takes
It's
to
the
get
physical,
whoever they
but
want.
it's the physical
Physically.
reason why. That they physically want them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They want them,
saying.
like, I gotta
So
be
that's
her.
why I think
No.
when he said that, I don't think a lot of people agree to agreements. It's really what happens is a man decides, okay, I want her. But he could have something personally going on where it's like, okay, I want her, but I just want to have sex. I don't want a relationship with her or whatever. But they are afraid to jeopardize getting you by being
By
real.
saying that,
Right.
yeah.
So that's
Like,
how a
keep
lot of
playing, like,
situationships
just
happen.
like her sure says.
That's really, I really feel like if I could be like, if I
gotta
was
look
to
over
take
here.
statistics, I think most situationships happen like that. Like
Yeah.
whether the male or the female decide, oh, I want to try her physically. But I know I don't want no relationship. But I'm about to try to sway her romantically. I'm going to try to flirt with her. I'm going to try to do this. And I'm going to keep my life a secret.
You running game. Like, you supposed to do that when you young. You know what I mean? After a while,
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know,
a young.
that's when you young. You running game.
There's still grown men doing that.
So let's say you go to a girl and you say, I just want, like, let's say you decide, okay, I want her. And you know what, I want her, let me tell her, I just want to have sex, that's it. She said, that's not what I'm trying to do. You're okay with, like, okay.
No, it's just more like, you know, you're not jumping out the gun and saying some crazy stuff. It's pretty much, you know what I mean, you want to take it slow. I'm not looking for a girl, I'm not looking for this, I'm looking for a relationship. And go from there. Y'all gonna keep seeing each other and whatever happens,
By her caliber, I don't know how to deal with her.
You know what I mean?
You say you don't really, you're past that situationship phase. So if a guy tells you he does not want to be in a relationship and you guys are already dealing with each other, how do you move forward? Or how do you take that?
Well, this is actually rather recent. I met someone who, you know, mutual friend, whatever, through, and it's more like, no, you don't. But it's more like you initiate with, oh, you find the person attractive, they find you attractive, you know, you hang out or you get together, the vibe is there, you engage, and then it's like, okay, now where do we go from here? You kind of find out what it is that they want from you, and you don't really know without being, like, for example, from my position, I feel like I'm single. So
put that out there.
Just put that out
What's
there.
your sign again?
So I'm a Capricorn, so you know, my mates could be, you know, Scorpio, Virgos, you know, Taurus maybe, who knows. But just saying, just to throw out a few. I just feel like it was more like there comes to a halt. It goes to a certain point. It goes to a certain extent where it's like, okay, what are we doing now?
Right,
like, are you really interested where you just want to, we had fun, we had a vibe, we hung out one night, and now it's like, okay, does this proceed, we go forward, or you want to play games and you just want to continue to fuck depending on how great that fuck was. Was it, you know, swinging from chandeliers, you wildin', that shit was amazing, or was it,
I could go without.
I could go with this. So I think that determines that, because if the sex is amazing.
But I'm just saying, let's say it's great, but you know that you don't have the emotional capacity to deal with the situation, because let's be honest,
I'm a very
great
mental
songs.
person, so you need to stimulate me mentally.
Girls gonna sneak.
Okay, but
I'm like,
let's say they do that and the sex is great, but they don't want a relationship.
Yeah, then I don't know. Like I don't. It's not gonna sustain for me personally, because that's just my personal thing. Like, I need to know that I'm valued, I'm wanted, I'm desired. Because I'll probably fuck you a couple more times and then be like, and know that number in my head, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you like 3 more times.
I think what some women try to do.
Then I'll be like, okay, I'm done, because it's just not fulfilling.
It's the closure fuck. It's the closure. It is
no, because it's preserved.
I'm learning so much right now.
You like 2 more times.
You gotta preserve.
Yeah, but it's called the closure fuck.
Right.
So it's either 2 or twice.
That's like my thing.
You might see me somewhere.
No, but just I'm saying about preserve the pussy. Oh yeah,
all right, let's say, I want to hear from the male perspective. So let's say you have a girl that you really like, you really feeling her, you had sex, it was great, the connection is there, but she says, oh, I don't want a relationship.
Cool.
And you want a relationship.
Nah. Why would you want a relationship in that situation? Nah.
If she don't want it, then you just...
Right?
It's like, nah, leave it alone. Like what she said, like, why would you want a relationship? She
Right.
said that.
You don't want.
You gotta trust people say what they want. So why would you want to like hear something else? Like she said that, just believe that and keep it like that.
Or you just want dick? Call me when you're ready.
But y'all never, did y'all ever have people who try to change your mind, whether it's like try to sway you physically or through experiences or just like...
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
And what do you...
Wait, I'm
I
sorry.
had a whole boy that had a girlfriend try to sway me to fuck. I'm like, what do I need to fuck you for? You got a whole pussy at home. Why do I need to fuck you for? Why do my vagina have to be on your penis?
Well, I mean, it's funny
Like, for
because
what?
you'll find out situations that you may not even be aware of.
Like...
No,
Like,
he's straightforward.
no, but I'm
He's
saying
straightforward.
there
He said, I
are
wanna fuck you.
in situations that I girls' night, girls all talk, you know. The conversation sometimes is like, oh, you'll be talking to someone, you follow up with them, you're like, oh, how you and such and such, and you'd be like, oh, girl, did you know that he miraculously had a baby shower on Tuesday? You know, you're like, no, how did that happen
Had
from
the Burberry shirt
yeah,
popped.
like Burberry shirt, exactly. Like it's crazy.
Can y'all
The
say
dating
why
world
men
in
do
the
that?
world is insane.
Nah, that's something
I
like that. I don't do
never had a
that.
baby shower.
I don't do all that.
No,
Did you, were you still dealing with girls while your daughter's mom was pregnant?
We weren't
Like,
together.
Yeah, but were you talking to girls?
We was in high school.
Question.
High school stuff don't count.
Oh, okay.
They were young.
Yeah,
so
so
I
that
wouldn't
don't
count
count
that either.
at all.
See, I mean, I know I have a son, I have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like when, I don't know, if I'm done with you, I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a person, I don't like to give up on situations that I really have feelings for,
Mm-hmm.
or I really care for that person. Like, I like to give people a chance if I really love them and care for them.
Right.
Because I feel like people make mistakes, I know I make mistakes. But once I say, I don't want to fuck with you no more, or I don't want you, nigga, you a dub.
Never
Was it
double
difficult to like?
Doesn't matter if I double back, I still don't want you.
That's still double back.
Doesn't matter. I can fuck. Listen, I can fuck whoever I want to fuck. I choose to fuck you doesn't mean I want you.
That's fact.
But was it
Just
hard
want
to
you for the
let
night.
go of that option
No,
once you let it
I'm
go?
just comfortable with you and you're convenient and I'm going to fuck you for my pleasure and I'm going to skate.
That's fine with us.
Wait, let me
That's
ask
fine
you.
with me too.
Wait, because you said you have a son. Was it difficult to make that decision? Did you break up with him, or was it just a mutual decision?
Okay, well I would say it this way. There was just, life happens and at points you just feel like, when you had enough, you have enough. And I felt like at one point I left and then it became mutual.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, you can be in a relationship with somebody and you love them and at one point in your life you just be like, well, this is not for me.
Right.
Because things in your life change you. Like having a baby changes you.
I say that all the time.
The person that I was before my son and the person that I am now are two different bitches.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God. So it's just like what I would deal with before and what I would deal with now are two different things.
So let's say sexually dealing with someone else after your family situation, was that difficult for you to do? Or?
I was somewhat insecure. Because you have to think, like, I only was dealing with this one person for however long. Then we had a baby together.
Right.
And then now I have to expose this brand new body of mine to someone else. So it's like, I don't know if they're going to like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to like my stretch marks or I'm oversized. I got milk coming out my
Like
damn
the tiny
titties. Like,
part.
I don't know if he's going to like that. But then once I realized, for some reason, I don't know, after I had my baby, niggas was on it. I'm like, oh shit. Well,
That's for real though.
niggas was on it. Like, oh, she had a baby out that shit? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So actually I got my confidence back. So I was like, they still want me? Like, other men want me and I'm a baby father? Great.
That is real.
I'm
That's
out here fucking now.
Damn, right?
Single moms don't got time to waste.
I don't have time to waste, exactly. So it's just like, that's why I give you an option. Because I'm not trying to say, like, I'm going out here fucking all willy-nilly. But at the end of the day, I'm an open-minded person. And I don't really look for relationships with people all the time because I'm not a person that to jump into something so serious to me. To me,
quickly too.
Yeah, I'm not
a
ready to
relationship
jump
jump,
and all
right.
that. No, that's why I've been single for 4 years myself. My son's 5, been single for 4 years for a reason because I don't. To me, a relationship is like a real commitment. So even though it's not marriage, but if I'm going to do that with somebody, I want to be 100% confident in what I'm doing with that person. I want to be 100% confident in myself that I'm not going to want to wander off and be with somebody else or him wandering off and be. I want us to 100% be confident in each other.
Right.
Because I know what it's like to be in a relationship like that. So that's why I've been single for so long. So yeah, I'm dealing with a couple of toads. One day I'll kiss one and it'll be a prince. Hopefully, because I'm trying to have another baby.
Okay. So Anjelique, what advice would you give to the opposite sex when it comes to just the sexual experience from the woman perspective?
I would say check out Sean Booty on Instagram. Sexologist, educate yourself.
To be honest,
What's one thing that
everybody's like, oh, she mad rude.
I'm serious because
she
really
talked
about
we just had this discussion.
From an early age. That's not discussed in the home. For me, that wasn't a taboo, topic. It was something that was discussed. I was able to go to my mom, go to my sister, talk about sex. So for me, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm secret. I'm like doing this. The first time I had sex, I went to my mom and I said, this is what just happened.
Wait, did you go to her before? Did you know you were going to do it?
No, after. I mean, she kind of already knew, You made like walking different, that thing. But it was more like, I told her. It wasn't like oh my God. And I told her in terms of health and safety, because that's what's important. People want to, hop from thing to thing or, drop it down, doing WAP, do they OnlyFans. All of this is out there. Sex sells, but it's like, are you really protecting yourself? Are you really being safe? Are you really doing that? So my advice to you is before you want to get into these entanglements, fellas, make sure you're talking about WAP. I don't even know whether you went to the gyno this year. Like, let me see your test results, because sticking it, doing this, and anything. I don't want any partake. Like, I don't want that.
Motherfuckers go to the doctor.
Right, so I just feel like it's a whole other, it's another conversation for me.
Some guys don't because you don't got health insurance. If you out here fucking like that, you should be out of pocket. I go to the doctor, honestly, you say 6 months, I go every 3 months, because that's just me. And at the end of the day, I'm just anal on going every 3 months. So at the end of the day, I feel like if you fucking like that and you out here want to fuck this person, that person, this person, that person, and don't want to use no condom, you need to go to the fucking doctor.
Right.
Because you fucking with your health.
See, that's being responsible. But some people think they're invincible though.
Yeah,
but you're fucking with your health.
Well, I mean, coronavirus, ain't nobody wearing a mask, well, sure they ain't wearing no.
Yeah, we know.
Wait, so what's the conversation when you guys, do guys have when it comes to safety? Like, is it just like, okay, one day you think something's wrong, or do you actually regularly go to the doctor?
If you feel like you're about to get like unprotected, I want to get tested.
Would you say?
Every time I have a partner, I go with this.
Regularly go.
Regularly.
And that shit's scary every time you go.
So when you ask me what my advice would be is have fun, be a free, do whatever you want to do, you know, enjoy it. Yeah, but just be safe with it, because that's how I look at it all the time. I'm like,
Let me hear from the male. So what advice would you have to women when it comes to sex from the male experience?
I mean, know what you want and be able to like vocalize what you actually want. And you don't gotta be in a situation you wanna be in where you're not saying what you really want and you're dealing with bad sex for a certain amount of time. It's like just have an open relationship. You're saying what you want, I'm saying what I want, and it should either come together. If it's not coming together, go separate ways. I mean, just be honest, open communication pretty much. That's really.
Well, he said the advice. The only thing I'm gonna say is, you know, we start with the topic about WAP. I don't think your power is in your pussy. That's just me. I think
that's
your power
is
is
for another day.
I'm gonna hear this. Come on, let me take notes. Go ahead.
I think the power is in
some power.
Nah, but I'm just saying, I think your power is in your mouth. Like, not to be disrespectful, like, your pussy is dependent on how I make you feel and just stimulate your mind and keep you wet and all that. But your mouth is all you. For me, your power is in your mouth. That's the only thing I would say.
So speak up.
Yeah. Whether it's speaking up or you giving head, your power is in your mouth.
Damn, you got two
But you lost me. I thought this was symbolic.
He was on that second date. I know. I don't know if he's talking about that. I was like, yeah, you're right.
I'm done with you. Delete that part of the video. I thought he was being symbolic, like
speak up.
Speak up.
No, he's saying speak up.
And suck
and how you suck this dick.
Yeah, honestly, your power is in your mouth. Cause at the end of the day, right? If you have sex
same
with a
goes for
nigga,
niggas too. Y'all want how you know pussy.
You, right? You gonna be
You
dry.
got a lot of
You're not going.
I'm just saying, some of y'all don't know how to know pussy. I said some of y'all. I didn't say all.
But your mouth is all you. Literally, that's you.
Okay.
So your power is
I see where you're going, but
you saying the mind? Like,
that's a metaphor. We
Like
can
you had a
leave
bad
that right
feeling.
there.
Nobody didn't suck your dick bag.
Over there. Yep.
oh, that's a whole nother.
You gotta go.
But hey, I buried that shit.
That's what
I ain't
I'm
gonna speak
saying.
on that shit. You know what I mean?
Off the rip, guys don't eat pussy correctly. You gotta, because they don't know how to eat pussy.
Some
You
guys.
cannot live off what you did to the other bitch.
Some guys.
We're not all the same.
Everyone's different.
They might like their tongue in the pussy. They might like the tongue just on the clip. You don't know.
The clip.
So you cannot say in your mind that you give everybody the best head, because you probably don't. Because I don't like my pussy ate a certain way, like other bitches like pussy ate a certain way. So don't ever think in your mind you give the best head to every person you have sex with.
So it's all
even
about
with girls,
communication.
don't ever think that you are the best head to every guy you ever had sex with, because your head could be trash to the next person and be amazing to the
Nah,
other.
there is some head monsters out there.
Well, I can say you can lead with confidence.
Would you like to drop some names?
Like I got this. Like, hey.
All right, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on The Voice of Reason. This was I learned a lot. Like I took notes. I didn't take notes on my phone. I learned a lot. So I don't know if you guys want to give one last shout out to anyone. I'm gonna put all your Instagram names on the video and stuff like that. But anything else you want to leave off with?
No, just make sure when you use that foreplay, like I said, Jolie Skin, CBD, relax is good for anxiety and everything, stress relief.
That's right. Plug yourself in. All right, that's a wrap. This was so good.
I'm Baby Oprah, voice of reason.